Dear friends, good day. It is still about nucleus, but actually it is more about the very important issue, which I mentioned several times, but I wanted to dedicate the whole talk to it. It is, I believe it's so important. It is the issue of collective, or sometimes called group intelligence or wisdom, whatever name it may have. Generally now it's collective intelligence. This, as a concept, it's known maybe 30, 40 years, but it didn't attract that much attention. But suddenly, for some or other reason, in the research world, it became very fashionable, because research science goes by fashion. But it is far much more important than fashion. If we want to look at the history, as I already was saying, we should look several 100,000 years ago, because obviously the cooperation of early Homo sapiens was based on collective intelligence. It didn't have this name. They didn't give any name. Their language was, if there was extremely simple, but they practiced it. And it is still practiced successfully within the various Aboriginal societies. The Aboriginal societies, which form small social groups, like they haven't changed the system. I was particularly, you could see among Hadza people, and it's quite interesting to observe that this type of collective intelligence is, which is used for decision making. People sit as a rule in a circle. It's quite interesting. Unfortunately, all the research which is done doesn't really go deep enough, doesn't go into a physical, neurological aspect, how this energy of intelligence is transmitted, because obviously it's not only via talking, and talking somehow interferes with it. It's better probably would be by silence. Anyway, I will collect interesting from this whole swarm of links on the subject, some interesting links, so those who would like to explore the topic deeper could do it. As far as Wisdom Society is concerned, we can't wait until the research will find a proper physical model. But for those who are interested, who knows who will listen to this talk, it could be neuroscientists, it could be physical theorists. My intuition is, look at the work of Sir Roger Penrose and his companion psychologist. I forgot the name, I will put it in the link, which they talk not about collective intelligence, but the collective consciousness, which obviously are maybe not the same, but we could say that collective intelligence is the aspect of collective consciousness where the thing goes together. So I strongly encourage you, if I will be younger, I will be just jumping into this subject, but I left university life many years ago, so it's way too late in my life to get into it, but you can. Anyway, as far as Nucleus is concerned, I already talked about question of decision making. I didn't specifically talk at all about this collective intelligence. That is the extra bonus which can help in making unanimous decision, because collective intelligence lead to generally to unanimity, because say ants, which some, that is the example over quoted, they can build a bridge, and they bridge made of them or some materials. Obviously they cooperate, and obviously there is it's understood form of collective intelligence and of course cooperation. They couldn't do it on their own. So I have no proof that it is good to follow something which is tested. And tested things are the format how the collective intelligence emerges in what is remaining in this aboriginal simple society. Simple, I don't think simplistic, simple, it's very different. Societies, they sit in the circle and discuss the issue, and eventually they come to unanimous decision. The situation have to be, I think, properly formalized. It could be some form of a special arrangement, the circle. It should be interwoven with period of resting mind, which will help not to get so attached of one's individual ideas, but be more open. And openness is the key. I will be talking soon about openness in my other series of talks about wisdom training, but we know what openness means. But in this case, be open to others' ideas and sit for a minute or two, whatever the people there will decide to do, and return to the subject. And I'm hesitating to say it, but I was witnessing something of that sort. In my younger day, I was, which you could see from my CV, which is available, I was participating in the thing which I thought it's not religious students of Trungpa Rinpoche, and he made at one point the idea of Delex, small neighborhood groups. And they didn't do really much, but one thing which was amazing, they were electing the leader of this group, which wasn't much of a leader, but anyway, it was called Dekyang. And it happened by spontaneous consent, or spontaneous, I would say, emergence of consent. And people really, I was witnessing several times. It was quite amazing. At one point, everybody agreed. If I can suggest for the maybe future, maybe some of you are, as I said, neuroscientists, physicists, please get in touch with me. I will pass you certain of my intuition on the subject, which may not be interested to all of you. At this point, I'm winding down the talk and want to say that the unanimous decision, which are key of the functioning of wisdom society, and in this particular case, if it works for Nucleus, it works in general, because later decisions are made in a very similar fashion. So that is point which I wanted to make, and I think now I can safely say that I finished with Nucleus. I may have a talk, if I get more solid information within the Menu Foundation about the collective intelligence. So, goodbye for now. I have beautiful day. I hope you do. Beautiful weather. I hope you do too. And see you soon.